Hi, boys and girls. Welcome. So, we are going to try a video to see if this will help with our live lessons. So, I'm going to go over what we are going to be talking about today. And no, Miss Rachel didn't wear the same clothes as she did yesterday. I'm actually recording this on Wednesday afternoon so that we can have this for Thursday morning. So, for math today, we're going to be talking about models. We're going to talk about multiplication models for decimals. And if you'll take a look here, I want you just to take a moment. And if this was a model of a decimal multiplication problem, what do you think it would be? Let's start off with the green one. Now, remember, we used our base 10 blocks. And for our whole, this hundredths grid represents 100. So that is a clue. And then remember, each little stick here represents a tenth, tenths, like decimals, THS on the end. And then each little small square there is worth 100ths with a THS, because it takes 100 of these small pieces to make one whole, and it takes 10 of these small pieces to make a tenth. Okay. So let's see if you were right. I have a copy here, and we're going to look. The way that these multiplication models are set up, it's like an array. So you're going to first look going horizontally or across there, and you'll see that you have one whole and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tenths. So that would be your first factor in your decimal multiplication. The next thing that we're going to do is look going vertically or down to see how much we have total on this side. So again, I see one whole. We're still going to count that one whole. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tenths. Okay. So going across, that represents 1 and 8 tenths times 1 and 6 tenths. In order to find out what the total is, you're going to just total it all out and see how much you have. We see that we have one whole. So I'm going to put one whole. Then I'm going to count all of my tenths. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We know that that represents another whole. So I'm going to put that as a whole. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 tenths extra. So we have 14 tenths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, which is represented 1 and 4 tenths. Now we have to count how many hundredths we have. Because this is set up in an array, if I know my multiplication facts really fast or really well, then I can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have an 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 8 by 6. So that would tell me 8 times 6 is 48. But remember, this is hundredths. Okay, 48 hundredths. So I would add all that together and see what we end up with. I'm going to add some placeholders in here because we learned when we were adding decimals that placeholders keep everything in line. When I add, I must line up my decimals and my place values. So that is 8. 4 plus 4 is 8. Bring down my decimal. 1 plus 1 is 2. So I get 2 and 88 hundredths. Now, again, this is just looking at it using the model. So what I want to do is see if I multiply this out, will I get 2 and 88 hundredths? 2 times 8, 16, carry my 1. 2 times 1 plus 1 is 3. Remember, when we multiply decimals, I just ignore them and act like they're not there until I get to the end. I'm moving to my tens place, so I have to put my 0, superhero 0. 1 times 8, 1 times 1, and then I'm going to add. Oh, I'm sorry. When I multiply, it's supposed to be 1.1 and 6 tenths, not 1 and 2 tenths. So I'm going to have to redo that. Sorry. So I copied the numbers down wrong. It was 1 and 8 tenths times 1 and 6 tenths. 1 and 6 tenths. Let's try that again. All right. 6 times 8, 48. Carry my 4. 6 times 1 plus 4 is 10. My 0. 1 times 8. 1 times 1. And there it goes. Don't forget, I have to circle the places to the right. I have to circle, and that's where my decimal goes. So you will see that we end up with the same answer. Okay. What you would maybe asked to do on an assessment would be to tell if this is a multiplication or division problem. Find the equation that matches. Okay, so if I was looking for an equation, remember equation is just a fancy way of saying number sentence. The equation that represents this would be 1 and 8 tenths times 1 and 6 tenths equals 2 and 88 hundredths. Okay, so I want you to take a look at the blue box. Take a look at the blue box here, and you try. All right. So let's see how you did. Remember, we're going to look going across first. You're only going to look at the models or the base 10 blocks going across the top first. So that represents a whole. That represents a whole. That represents a whole. That's my 3 and 1 2 tenths. Did you get that? All right. 1 2 3 wholes and 1 tenth. Did you get that? So we already have the two factors that are being multiplied. All we have to do now, oops, I keep writing the wrong number, 3 and 2 tenths times 3 and 1 tenth. Okay. And that equals. How do we find the what the answer would be? The product to that decimal multiplication problem. Add them all up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 wholes. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tenths. And I have 2 hundredths. Do not forget when you write your hundreds, 2 hundredths is like that. Okay? Be careful and make sure your 9 is in the tenths place. So when I add these up, where does the decimal hide if you don't see it? Right behind the ones place. And we are going to add 0 plus 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 plus 9 plus 0 is 9. Bring down my decimal. 9 plus nothing is 9. So the answer would be 9 and 92 hundredths. Want to check it? Let's check to make sure. See if I write the numbers down this time. That is a 2. Multiply. Remember, ignore the decimals. 1 times 2, 2. 1 times 3, 3. 0. 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 3, 9. Add them together, and how about it? Okay? They match. So this, again, is just an example of what models, decimal multiplication models look like, how they are modeled. What you would be asked to do, again, is to take a look at the models and then write an equation for each one. Okay? All right? So that's what you're going to be doing today. In your small group, your small group instructor, whether it's myself or Miss Lamore, will review those last two with you all, and then you all will be set for your independent work. Oh, my light went out, so it must be time. Thank you so much, and I'll look forward to seeing y'all in the morning. Bye bye.